We are back to start this second half of the show with a couple more topics, starting off with some more quarterback talk on Jordan Love. Yesterday, the first day of the Packers, training camp, as they began camp yesterday, Matt LaFleur, you had everybody walking out there to the field. Matt LaFleur ran out there with Jordan Love with him, but Jordan Love wasn't wearing any gear, didn't have his helmet with him or anything. He was in a shirt and shorts, and not the greatest sign if you're a Packers fan, and obviously dealing with the negotiations of a contract extension with Jordan Love. You would have loved to still see Matt LaFleur running out there with Jordan Love, but obviously him ready to practice, and that is where we are right now. Obviously, with that being the scene, yesterday on Monday, the media had to ask Green Bay's general manager about it, and their general manager, Brian Gutekunst, revealed to the media that yes, Jordan Love will not be practicing until both sides have agreed on a new deal. Jordan Love's agent, David Mulugheta, informed Green Bay of that decision back on Saturday. So this was something that was predetermined, something that Jordan Love and his side of things have agreed upon and communicated it to the Green Bay Packers. And now everybody's just realizing it from yesterday, showing or seeing rather that Jordan Love was not ready to practice at all. Not a holdout, but more of a hold in, because this isn't a situation where I don't think they're disagreeing on the fact that Jordan Love should get extended. I think everybody, like General Manager Brian Gutekunst said to the media, that he feels that they're close on a deal. We saw it in what we talked about yesterday in Jeremy Fowler's report over the weekend, that the vibes, the sensations between everybody are good. So that's why Jordan Love is there, not holding out, technically not showing up at all to, show that he's disgruntled or anything like that. He's more holding in, being in and around the team, around his teammates and things like that. I'm sure they all understand what the situation is, obviously, but that will be the case until they get something done. Up until now, what we mentioned yesterday, the good feelings and everything like that, that's all accurate, it seems, but we have to talk about now the price range. What kind of price, what kind of range are we talking about? I mentioned that Jeremy Fowler yesterday said that the floor, the absolute floor right now is about $50 million, obviously. And on that topic, on Jordan Love's agent, David Mulugheta, I bring him up because that will be a huge part in everything on how he has negotiated massive deals in his past based on his other clients, and how that could be leading into an area where Jordan Love could seriously reset this market, or at least match Joe Burrow and Trevor Lawrence in the title of the highest earning quarterback in the NFL, because David Mulugheta now has a history of doing this with his clients. Like I mentioned, you look at just this offseason, Christian Wilkins, massive deal with the Las Vegas Raiders. Calvin Ridley, nowhere did anybody think that he was going to get the kind of contract that he did, a total value of $100 million with the Tennessee Titans. Nobody saw that coming. David Mulugheta negotiated that for his client. Then also Antoine Winfield became the highest earning safety in the NFL right now and in NFL history. And then just in the past as well, for other clients for David Mulugheta, you have Jalen Ramsey at the time when he got his extension, got near the top of the market. Same thing with Derwin James, another safety that was earning top money. And you have the ever-famous Deshaun Watson, got the most guaranteed money ever in NFL history, $231 million, I want to say. So a very rich history and a very positive history for Jordan Love now, that should probably be expecting the same thing to happen here with the Green Bay Packers. And also, another client that we have to keep an eye on is T. Higgins. He is a client of David Mulugheta. How that situation is panning out with the Cincinnati Bengals, he's probably going to want top of the market money, and he could probably get it with Mulugheta as his agent. But sticking with Jordan Love now, a lot of these deals show that they are top of the market. So that is where we could be heading now with Jordan Love. And obviously, when you're going to commit that amount of money to Jordan, it's going to take a lot of negotiating, ironing out all these little just things that you have to work out with when you're talking about money, the guaranteed, how it affects the salary cap and everything like that. But apart from Gutekunst's optimism, feeling good about the whole situation, ESPN's Adam Schefter also came out and said that this deal could get done sooner rather than later. And I would agree with that just because, this is really the only thing the Packers have to worry about now, because already through this offseason, they extended another pivotal part to their team on defense. They just extended Kenny Clark to a big deal, not market setting, but overall how much he's earned from the Green Bay Packers over the entire time he's been there, almost 10 years. I think I heard it on the Athletic podcast that generally, historically, he could be one of the highest earning defensive tackles ever based on that. So Kenny Clark got his extension done already, and now with Jordan Love, that's probably the last thing that the Packers really have to worry about, and obviously it is the most important thing that they have to get done. Obviously, at this point, everybody has the positive feelings about it. Everybody thinks it's going to get done. I believe it's going to get done eventually, if not very soon. I wouldn't be surprised if this happened as early as tomorrow. Maybe in the next 15 to 20 minutes, I get a notification on my phone that it's done. But right now, my level of concern with this, just overall, probably is at about a 3 out of 10. Just because, like I mentioned, Green Bay, this is the last thing that they have to check off on their list of offseason responsibilities. So the way Jordan Love played last year, the way that he played in the playoffs especially, kind of leaves the Packers no choice. But now, do they want to make him the highest paid quarterback in the NFL? Do they want to reset the market entirely? Those negotiations take a little bit of time. But again, I expect this to happen at least the earliest at the end of this week, at the absolute earliest, probably, if not tomorrow or one of these days coming up. But the biggest thing that could go wrong is that this just extends until the end of next week, say, and then my concern level would probably be at about a 7, maybe an 8 out of 10, because at that point, at the end of next week, even halfway through next week, we're close to August or even already in August at that point, and you're still without your starting quarterback. Matt LaFleur even made some comments on it today to go along with this point when he said that he had no problem with this decision by Jordan Love, but he did say that they had to pivot quickly now and sort of change their structure and things that they do go over in practice because they are without their starting quarterback. So now that we're ramping things up, now that we're getting serious about football in the end of July and heading into August with preseason just around the corner, you don't want Jordan Love just sitting out there. Of course, he's going to be learning, taking everything in, but you want him on the field executing some of these plays, some of these reps with the young wide receiving core that they had, handing it off to Josh Jacobs, taking snaps from the center. All those little things matter, and the longer that they wait, it's not a practice wasted, but it doesn't hit the same, really, with Green Bay and their team without Jordan Love being out there practicing with everybody and leading this team. But so that's really my biggest concern. Again, right now, it's not too big of a level of worry that something is threatening this to happen, like the Cowboys and deciding between two players or something like that. Jordan Love really has nothing else to concern the Packers about. He has waited his turn behind Aaron Rodgers. There's no injury concerns or anything like that. And on top of that, he balled out last year, proved to everybody that he could be the next face of this team for the next 10 years or something like that. I can't think of anything that would stop this deal from getting done, but the longer it pans out, the longer nobody knows why it's taking this long, that's when I'll start to worry. But for right now, it's in a good spot. The Packers should be the first team to get it done out of the Dolphins with Tua and the Cowboys with Dak, and that benefits them overall as well. Other than just having Jordan Love on their team, having him at a cheaper price potentially is always a great thing for any NFL team. So we're going to follow up on that. When that gets done, I'm sure we're going to talk about it, but we're going to head to the last break of the show. When we return, a last sort of update, early roundup of news on other quarterbacks around the NFL. Lamar Jackson dealing with an illness. Joe Burrow being fully cleared to practice now that training camp is starting for the Bengals. And also Daniel Jones ready to go fully after recovering from that ACL injury. More details on each of those quarterbacks when we quickly return after this break.